What's cracking, Patreon family? It's your baby mama's favorite cousin, Cousin T-Taw. And today I am presenting a second edition of rating a type of wives. So in this particular installation, I'll be rating the wives and girlfriends of, well, actually today we've only got wives. So it'll be the wives of NBA players. Okay. So, but before we get into this discussion, I want to present a reminder of how we define beauty in the House of Technicians. And that definition is as follows. What is beauty? That which inspires a sense of temporary or ongoing fixation by a beholder. Now, gentlemen, it's important that we understand how we define beauty, because when we present discussions such as this, we're presenting an agreement. We're presenting an understanding of the relationship between the pursuits that we have as men and the meaning of those pursuits in our lives. We pursue beauty because it's something that inspires us. It's something that drives us to want to progress, to want to fixate on the essence and the presence of that which we defined as beautiful. And so another reason why I want to continue to have these particular discussions is because we live in a day and age of synthesized beauty. So for those who may or may not remember a webinar that I presented with the General Ram Wills last year, I covered the question, what is real? And part of that webinar went into how the trend of AI, or artificially generated beauties or pictures or videos, are becoming popular. But one of the things that I wanted to make sure we brought across was the difference between when a person consumes artificial or synthetic beauty as opposed to when a person, a human, consumes organic and or natural beauty. A lot of research and studies are being done on what actually happens in the mind and into the brains of people who can consume a steady diet of artificial or synthetic materials as opposed to natural and organic materials. Now, that research is new and it's ongoing, but early results are showing striking differences in the way that the consumers are motivated and or driven, and how they are inspired to engage in positive activities like fitness, like art, like forms of expression, when it's natural and or organic beauty that's driving, their inspiration. Whereas when it's artificial or synthetic beauty, it tends to be like junk food. It tends to be like something that is a really quick hit, but the crash or the downward spiral is something that it is as a result. So there's an emptiness that comes with consuming a lot of artificial or synthetic beauty. So once again, these are ongoing studies, and this is early on in this particular space, but it's an interesting observation in how we respond to beauty. So with that being said, I want to get into 3 case studies today when we talk about scoring NBA wives. Okay. So the first up that we have is none other than Ayesha Curry. Now, I know there's a lot of conversations and podcasts that are happening over various statements that are taken from interview clips featuring Ayesha Curry. And we're not going to go over any of that in today's conversation. But if you want to have a conversation or if you want to know what I think about that component of the game, just let me know down below in the comments. In any case, we are going to look at, first of all, who she is the wife of. Of course, she's the wife of none other than Stephen Curry. And as always, we have to observe the 3-scene composition. And that covers her casual look, her swimwear look, and her evening attire. And as you can see, gentlemen, definitely someone who is attractive, someone who is stylish in her own right, and someone who definitely is photogenic. Okay. So given her background, education, and how she presents, we're going to give her a 92 octane score. The T stands for top mistress in terms of where her social status lands her within the female group hierarchy, and the ultimate score, attractive score of 8. Okay. So 92 / top mistress with an overall score of 8. Moving on. Next we have Savannah James.